Again, one day, the CEO of Sony thought it'd be a good profit maker if he were to use the PS Vita to revolutionize not only mobile gaming, but also time itself. So, he manufactured it to be the most powerful ever conceived. Eventually, the thing wowed the tank due to the US military figuring out how powerful it was, and started taking them for experimentation. This meant that the splinter cells of remaining PS Vitas were scattered all over the place. Eventually one found a way to remake itself as a human. You could say, it mastered interdimensional travel, and used a resistance group's technology to cybernetically give itself ice powers, and installed itself within a human body. With this newfound power, she managed to root the United States military out of Japan, all by herself. Unfortunately, she was too late. The PS Vitas were all either taken, or resold back to untraceable buyers. This left the PS Vita sad and alone. So, that's when she met the love of her life, a middle-aged man named Tomoshiki. He was just some random low-ranked shinobi working for a bunch of peacekeepers. He had nothing special about him, yet he had nearly the best potential out of all of them, even with just his bladed fangs. How exactly does this connect to our heroes? Well, see, Torashiki's father happened to be the famed Kuretsuchi, a man who could body anyone with ice. Unfortunately, his son could never be like him. So they had good table talks during traditional supper. They saw many things, over vast periods of time. Sure, they didn't create any new timelines yet, but it was rather noteworthy. She loved it. He loved her for loving it. They eventually fought. Many times. You may be wondering, how did it feel for an android to be screwed by a human? Surprisingly, it felt great. His dick was always sturdy and there. If you get what I mean. Link, soon after, Holy Messiah Yumi was born. They dearly loved their child, even if she didn't seem like an android. But, they didn't know that by manual protocol, a child born from the son of a legend and an extremely powerful woman had to be checked for their potential. Well, of course, they came. What they found, however, was shocking. Yumi had unlimited potential, and the power to become a god easily with no effort, if she ever knew anything her parents knew. This essentially could destroy the bureaucracy created from the last 300 years of eternal strife. The test conductors had no choice. They had to kill the child to protect their jobs. Unfortunately for them, Kuretsuchi restrained them all, and told both the parents to run, with their child, to somewhere far secluded from shinobi society, to make sure the prophesy child comes of age. And so they left, to a small town far away from any trouble. They raised him almost like a normal child, although they did tell her that they were shinobi. Don't worry, she knew not to tell anyone. Smiley, about 7 years passed for the family. It was all going to crash horribly down. Yumi was playing with the other children, when by attempting to tag one of her childhood friends, she gave them a horrible case of frostbite. It led to the school, afraid for the sake of the other children, did not attempt to tell Yumi it was not her fault, but, instead, they ratted out that Yumi was a threat to society, and therefore her parents must be tried. The PSB droid told Yumi that everything would be alright, and she'll come back, when Yumi became a fine young adult. She then teleported away. Her father also told her that he loved her with all his heart. And once again, went to go to plead that he was innocent to the masses. The father was killed. The mother short-circuited, while she was traveling to the future, and a flood occurred there just before 2019, the year Yumi would presumably come back. This caused her to not be able to time travel anymore, and to be stuck in 2029 instead. If she went anywhere, she'd be killed just like the father. And so, Yumi waited for father to come back, since she knew mother would come back in a few years, right? She She waited for 5 days. All the food in the fridge, eaten. All the water, drank. Nobody came to the door. Not even to say anything rude. She was alone. And there, Yumi, the last of the three BS Vitas, was now an orphan. The only people who really gave enough care to her parents were her human family, who had put funerals for both of them. Life was dark, and all she could ask was, why me? But fortunately for her, one person came to absolutely make sure she at least had a home. That was Kurikage, or, for Yumi, savior from utter depression. It was there, in Kurikage's home, where she found out that she, in fact, had the ability to control the winds, lice, and even create whatever she wanted. He cared for me just like her parents had done, while also readying her to become the greatest shinobi the world had ever known. That, and she learned how great chilled ice was to eat. Heck, they never told Yanis, but Kurikage even custom-made a kimono just for her. Of course, she loved it very much. So much that even to this day, she still transforms into a copy of it, just to show how grateful she is, even if it didn't fit her anymore. He also gave her dad's old fans back to her, so she could use her powers easier.